Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Terror in Tinsletown. This time we're talking about a 2002 film, action horror film, directed by Paul W. S. Anderson in a long running series based on a video game franchise, the very first Resident Evil live action movie, starring Mila Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez. Now, I saw this movie online in the last decade. I didn't see it when it came out in 2002 because I was in high school and I didn't have my own money yet to go to the theater. But it's decent. This one is not as horrible as the critics made it out to be because the critics never liked these movies, whether they were based on the game or not. They were not a fan of these films. None of them got a fresh Rotten Tomatoes. What they did with Sonic worked and they loved and they liked it. This one was more mixed, but this is more loosely based because Alice, the character that Mila Jovovich plays, is not in the game. In none of the games, not in the first three games on the PS1, not the PS4. I mean, not the Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, or any of the Code Veronica, or Resident Evil 5, 6, and 7 on the PS3 and PS4, or the remakes. No, she's in none of those. She's just kind of a non-canon character. But the film does have some, like I said, it does have some bright spots. It has a lot of action. It doesn't take a long time to get to it. It's short. It's only an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 41 minutes. Perfect. It's not 2 hours long. It's competently shot. There's some decent of practical effects, some CG. We'll get to that. And the cast is pretty good. Mila Jovovich is good as the lead in this movie and in the second one. By the third one, we're getting into Mary Sue territory. Why? Because the lead, she's married to the director. I don't think she was married to him at the time, but um, she still was married to him, and that's why she was the lead in all the films. They got married in 2009, so they were not married at the time. Maybe they were dating or something. Because at the time she just got divorced from Luc Besson, the film director that did Lucy and Anna and The Fifth Element, etc. Yeah, and it's weird because Mila Jovovich started acting in the 80s, and I didn't see her until like the 2000s. Yeah, pretty much the 2000s because I saw Cuffs and Fifth Element and what was the other movie? Zoolander, the first Zoolander. She makes an appearance in that. There's some people I'm not a fan of in this movie though, like Michelle Rodriguez. I never liked her. I'm sorry. The Fast and the Furious movie she's in, I think she's dull. She always looks mad and everything. She's in just like that mean tough guy Latina face. I'm not a fan of that. James Purefoy, yeah, he's British. Why do you think I don't like him? I'll give you three guesses, and the first two don't count. I'm gonna leave it at that. Eric Mabius, good actor. I liked him. He was in one of the Crow movies. He's a good actor. I do like him in some of the films he's done. He's done some Hallmark movies I liked. He was in Cruel Intentions, the 1999 film. The Crow Salvation. I haven't seen it, but I heard he was a decent Crow. He was in Apocalypse in archive footage. He's a good actor. I wish he was in more of the films. The other ones, Martin Cruz and Colin Salmon, I never heard of them, so I'm not going to say much. But I like the look of the films. The look of the game is here. You have the Umbrella Corporation, and there's a T virus that's released, and it's in a secret underground facility. And it's kind of like what happened this year. A COVID hit, and look what happened. Now we're all stuck in isolation. And this movie, it's a virus that's biologically made. I think that's also what happened this year. But anyway, not to be too dark because I don't want to scare people off. The film got mixed reviews from critics and was a box office success. Yeah, I know, I heard it. And I was kind of excited for this because when by 2002 I already played the first two games on the PlayStation, and I was a huge fan of those games. And I played them when I was way too young to play them. I wasn't even 13 when I played the first game, and the second game I played when I was 13, and they were very violent, atmospheric, scary, really creepy, really cool creatures like the dogs. The dogs are in here. There's one of them here. The lickers in the second game. There's a giant licker in this movie. You have the zombies. There's zombies in the film, so at least there's some element to the game here. And it's not horrible. If you're looking for a popcorn flick that's short and to the point and doesn't drag for 2 hours, this is a decent watch. And I want to see it again because I want to hear the commentary, even though it's from the director and and some of the cast. But I'm willing to bite the bullet because it's been a while since I've seen this movie. And compared to the sequels, will get excessively worse after Apocalypse because Extinction and Afterlife, and oh god, it just got old real fast. And then the characters from the game were more just like cameos than anything, except for Jill. Jill was pretty awesome. Jill and Carlos were decent characters in two, but in the first one, there's not really any characters from the game, just the creatures. Because the Red Queen, yeah, that's from Alice in Wonderland. Jason Isaacs is an unnamed doctor and the narrator. Yeah, I don't like him either. Again, you know why. And this director, like I said, he's hit and miss. I don't completely hate him. I like the first Mortal Kombat movie. I admit that. I haven't seen Event Horizon. I like Soldier. I think Soldier's an underrated film. This film is decent, but he didn't direct all the sequels. The second one was directed by a guy named Alexander uh, Asa or something like that. I forgot what his name was. Let me see. It's Alexander Witt. He directed the second movie, and I prefer that one over this one only because I like Jill more than Alice, just as a precaution. But anyway, yeah, the film is well shot. Like I said, there's some CG in it. It has an R rating. That's one thing that they didn't skip on in all these movies. They're all R rated and not PG-13. So you can't complain that the kills are off screen. No, there's a guy that gets lasers right in his face and he crumbles into pieces. There's a lot of blood. There's the liquors. The dog has like a messed up face. People get the zombies bite people's necks. It's violent. It's not a PG-13. Even by today's standards, it's still pretty violent. And while these are just popcorn entertainment, they're not deep philosophical films. You know what you're getting into. And like I said, it has a lot of references to Alice in Wonderland, but I like the Alice in Wonderland films. At least the two with Mia Wasikowska and the animated Disney version. I hate the 1999 version though. That one sucks. And this movie is pretty decent. Like if you've never seen it, I would say watch it once. If there's on Netflix or it's on streaming somewhere, watch it at least once. For Halloween, it's a nice little film to watch, and it's not deep. Mila Jovovich is very hot. Like I said, she's not from the game, but like I said, compared to what they do with her in the later sequels, yeah, the Force powers and her reveal in the last movie, yeah, that was dumb. But this one is not as dumb as the other one, so I would give it a pass. And there are references to the game here. Other references. You have the Nemesis program, which is in the sequel. You have the villain Alexia Ashford, the train from Resident Evil 2. You have a Stars logo, which is from the game. The character Dr. Isaacs, played by Ian Glenn, is the film's sequel, is based on him. Yeah, there's some stuff. It's not a perfect representation of the game. We'll probably get that. I heard that Netflix is doing some kind of deal to make the game, but I don't like who they're choosing for Jill. I'm sorry. The girl from Pirates of the Caribbean 5, I'll take 100 Mila Jovovich movies with films with her over that girl. I don't like her. Kaya Scaladario, no. No more Brits. I said it. Stop putting them in everything, guys. You know why I don't like them? Because they put them in so much that it's oversaturated. They're in everything. Every freaking thing. Here, at least your lead is Ukrainian and American. And she has gorgeous green eyes. At least she has something to offer me. These people they're everything and they're boring. They're robots. They sound like bloody robots. Robot. It's tiresome, guys. I'm not a person on the internet that loves everything. I have to have opposition. This movie, I do have some problems with it. Like I said, some of the CG looks a little dated. I wish there were more characters from the game. I would have cut half of the Brits in the cast because they don't do it for me. I'm sorry. I'm American. Look at my flesh. Do I look like a white person to you? No. And like I said, more and Michelle Rodriguez is not a good supporting lead. She dies in this, yet in the sequel she comes back as a clone, even though Resident Evil was never about clones. That's Star Wars or the X Files or whatever. Yeah, that's that. They didn't do cloning in that. In this game, these games are never about cloning. And also, I would have liked to see the Tyrant from the first game. They put it in the third movie, but eh. And like I said, it should have been in the mansion. The lab thing looks pretty cool, but I would have rather seen Mila in the mansion fighting the zombies and the lickers and the hunters and the dogs and everything and the birds from the game. That would have been better. But It's still decent though. It's not horrible. But like I said, stop putting Vince in everything. We don't need it. It ruined Star Wars for me. That's why thank God the Mandalorian doesn't have that. Because if it did, I would have never been interested. Because it's the kiss of death to every project that comes out for me. Sorry. What about Spider Man? Well, I like Tom Holland. There's 10% of them I like. Him, Cumberbatch, Julie Andrews, Emily Mortimer, Michael Caine, a few others. But the ones that they put now in films are god awful. Just stay away the hell away from my cinema. Anyway, you can watch this movie. It's a fun ride. If you never play the games, then you won't be lost. This stands on its own 2 feet. It's not like a fan service movie for 95 minutes or an hour and 40. So that's all I got to say, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review.